Hey guys, and welcome to CMJ Live. We thank you so much for joining us. And some of you might be wondering, okay, we tuned in earlier, didn't tune in and before, and trying to find out my two shows. It's pretty funny, and I have to say this. This Monday is World Sickle Cell Day. Okay, we're celebrating World Sickle Cell Day. So the first part of my show, I was supposed to have guests to come in and talk about sickle cell. Mm-hmm. I had a lady and her son had sickle cell, and a gentleman that had sickle cell. Guess what?
No one showed up?
They're both sick.
Oh, no way.
They have sickle cell crisis, and they couldn't make it.
Oh, no.
That's how serious sickle cell is, that they were supposed to come talk about it, and they couldn't show up because one's in the hospital, and she's home with her son because he's having pain crisis right now.
Wow.
So I'm telling you guys right now, you need to come out and support. This Monday, the government is recognizing it. We got to get the T-shirts out. We have dignitaries coming down. Monday is World Sickle Cell Day, so I'm asking you, please tell somebody, send out the feed, send out the pics, send it out. That's what's going on. So thank you for listening. All right, but
amazing.
We got my friend here. How you doing, sir?
What's going on?
All right. So tell everybody who you are.
Sure. My name is Nav Nanwa. I am a proud Bramptonian.
There you. He cut out my first question.
Yeah,
you know what it is? There you go.
Just gonna go for it.
There you go.
Very happy to be here. Thanks, Charles, for having me on the show. My first time actually in the Crib 101 studios in the CMJ area. So, I'm just happy to be here. I was nominated. Well, I was a recipient recently of Brampton's Top 40 Under 40, which I like to tell people they had 39 and they needed a 40th, so they call me. But
so hold on. If someone's watching right now and they go, he looks so familiar. I'm like, where have I? Like they're trying. Some people they're picturing it now and they're like doing this thing. Because I told my tech. She's like, who you have? So I told her and then she's like, oh right, yeah right. Okay, so tell everybody if they're watching why you look so familiar.
Yeah, I used to be on Rogers TV quite a bit. I was on Rogers TV for about 4 years. I hosted a number of shows on Rogers. I'm talking Talk Local, Cable 10 Live. I did the election coverage for the municipal and provincial elections. Even as far as producing and hosting the business show for PO called Business Casual most recently. And unfortunately the studio had to close down due to issues out of my control, but it was a great time. And it's funny enough, I even walking through like Bramley City Center, someone's like, hey, like I think you look very familiar.
Yes.
I'm like, yeah, I'm the guy that when you're flipping the channel you see my face and
then you flip
it again. Pretty much.
Because I was sad because I was in talk with Rogers. I had a show coming on Rogers as well.
Yeah.
And it was all good. I'm calling them and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, by the way, there's no show. What are you talking about? I'm like, okay, that's a stable of Rogers. It's been there for years. You know what I mean?
100%.
All the people that's how they got their start on Rogers. So before we move on to you, tell us a little bit about each show that you did and how it was meaningful for you. Because I know you said you did multiple shows.
I did, yeah. So you know what? It was cool because, and the good thing about Rogers was it really gave you an opportunity.
Yes.
I'm for one, I do not have a background in broadcasting.
Right.
Literally, I'm a business student, and even now, like I work in business as well. But you know what it was? It was just a need for me to sort of want to get into that space. And it's a shame, like you were mentioning, that Rogers doesn't exist because, I think it provided a lot of people an avenue, number one, to really find their passion, and find who they are, as well as, inform the community as to what's going on. And, I literally was doing an online radio show similar to this one.
Yeah.
And from there, I met Jake Deere, who's a wonderful guy, very well respected in the community, and him and I really connected. And then I was one day told him, hey man, I'd love to just on my bucket list, would love to have my own TV show.
Right.
One thing led to another. We tried out my first show, which is called Network with Nav. We did 4 episodes, and then we couldn't film more. So I was like, oh, it's bad. Like, I canceled it.
Yeah.
But then I got a call actually from Jake, and another producer is a good friend of mine now, Wasim Parker, and they were like, we love your style. You're obviously new to hosting, but we think you can definitely grow.
Okay.
And they actually put me on Cable 10 Live, which, I kid you not, Charles, is 2 hours live TV with call-ins, with like different segments, and I probably had less than like 6 months of TV hosting experience.
Oh, okay. So they threw you into the fire.
They threw me right into the fire. I was hosting it 2 times a week, so that's 4 hours a week.
Yeah.
I was doing that for pretty much all of 2014, a bit of 2015.
Right.
And man, did I learn so much.
Okay.
Like it ended up from being something cool to something I really started investing in.
Right.
And lo and behold, I did Cable 10 Live for about 2 years, and then switched over to Talk Local, which is a shorter format.
Right.
And the one thing I really liked about it is, for me, I had recently moved back to Brampton at the end of 2013 because I was doing my MBA up in Hamilton at McMaster University, and I really just wanted to get reconnected to the city because when I had gone to university back in high school, Brampton had changed a lot since when I was moving back there.
Right.
And I just saw so much potential in what's going on in the city and all the exciting things that are happening. And one thing led to another, and I used this Rogers experience to really get reconnected with the community.
Because, like you said, the first thing you said, and I'm not going to hate you for it.
No, you hate me all you want.
You're right. You know what I mean? You went to Turner. Big shouts out to Turner.
Turner Fenton.
Bramptonian.
TFC,
you know what I mean?
represent.
I got one of my best friends and friends went to Turner. You know what I mean?
Where'd you go?
We're enemies.
You went to Centennial?
I went to Central Peel.
Oh, Central Peel.
Yeah.
Even worse.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Shout out to Central Peel.
Yeah, and that's why I love about Brampton. The rivalries, the fun times.
Man.
You know what I mean?
It was good.
But at the end of the day, it was just love. Like
it was.
It's
100%.
represented because here's the funny thing. We used to go to sports, right?
Yeah.
And even though we hated each other, if another team came from Toronto or something,
you banded together.
We teamed up. You're like, where are you from? Toronto. Boo. There you go. We're Bramptonians, you know what I mean?
And that sense of pride, even going to university, sort of just walking around and you see someone else from Brampton, may not be from your high school. They may went to a private school, but there's that sense of pride from this city. And, a lot of that I really attribute to the fact that, we've been overlooked for so long. So that's my thing. We're talking candid here, and it's like we said before we started the show, there's so many stars in Brampton. So many.
You know what I mean? Like, when they look at you, I consider you a star.
Oh, thank you.
Okay? People that have done it, you know what I mean? Like, we have people that know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then we have people that are always getting booked out on TV, radio, whatever.
Exactly.
And then you ask them, where do you live? Brampton.
Yeah.
But then I'm thinking to myself, they're always driving Toronto,
they're going down
Hamilton,
the
they're going to New York, they're traveling, but we all live in Brampton.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
There's so much talent
There's
here.
so much talent here. It's amazing. So it's like, I guess that sense of pride that we talked about. Right?
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I for one, especially now with some of the newer things that I'm doing, is I'm really trying to tap into that. Because to your point, man, there's so much talent in this city.
Right.
Like, it's great that we have now Alicia Cara and Roy Woods and so much Brampton representation, in the mainstream. Mm-hmm. Because now, like, what I see is when I'm interacting with local artists or even just local entrepreneurs, there's just such a hunger there and to want to succeed. And the one message I sort of tell everybody is like, let's support each other.
Right.
Like, we're all in this together. And when someone looks down on Brampton, they're indirectly looking down on you too.
Right.
And I think it's time we sort of change that narrative. And to your point, like, I'm tired of seeing a lot of our talent go elsewhere. Even to an extent, like, I love Mississauga, but a lot of our talent's even going to Mississauga because they have
a lot of shows.
Opportunities.
They have a lot of events.
Yeah.
And, like, I can't knock it. Mississauga has done a great job.
Amazing job, yeah.
New forum, new buildings, a lot of events, and we're doing our thing.
Yeah, 100%.
And they're smart because they're taking the Bramptonians to come perform, right?
They are, yeah. Literally driving all the way down to Ontario.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're going up to Celebration Square and realistically, and I think that's what the city is really trying to focus on, is how do they maintain talent, and that's been a goal that I've seen talking to city officials.
Right.
Doing the shows on Rogers, we would address these conversations all the time, and quite frankly, you're seeing some progressive movements. Like, you're seeing the Board of Trade now doing top 40 under 40, which is a great way to sort of recognize who is the future here in the city.
Yes.
And where can their potential take them, right?
And it's a funny thing is when I seen it, because someone actually nominated me for it, and I called them. I said, I appreciate the nomination, but I'm a year. I'm not even. I can't lie.
You're like what, 29?
Yeah, see? You can come back anytime you want. All right, anytime. He's welcome to the show. But I said, so what is it? They're like, oh, we found a whole bunch of people doing great things.
Yeah.
And I said. Book them.
Yeah.
She's like, what are you talking about? I said, I want them on my show.
Yeah.
So I can learn, so other people can learn that we have great people here.
Exactly.
And so far, all of my guests have been fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I didn't know that they had certain business I drive by every day.
Yeah.
Is actually their business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And get to know them a little better because we are striving. New buildings are popping up all the time.
100%.
New restaurants are popping up all the time.
Exactly.
So to me, driving down to Toronto, there's no need anymore.
There really is no need.
You know what I mean?
And you know what? That's the thing. Like if I'm some of the people sitting at council or even people that are in charge of arts and culture, it's an exciting time.
Yes.
And they're doing their best to tap into it. But I think there's definitely more that can be done. But to your point, soon enough, if we continue on this wave and we continue supporting each other and we sort of go and focus in on the greater good versus an individual good,
right?
You'll see, the city prosper. And I think now is the opportunity, especially now that we're sort of approaching an election year next year. Now is an opportunity to really put some stake in the sand and be like, look, we need to identify who these leaders are going to be that are going to help drive the city forward, because I think we've just been sort of stagnant a little bit.
Spinning our wheels a little bit.
Spinning our wheels, and there'll be times where we're making progress, and all of a sudden we take 2 steps back. The LRT was something that we had talked about brutally on Rogers TV. We beat that one to death. And but I kid you not, it would come up because people were just like, man, that was such a lost opportunity, right?
So is it to me? I would watch some of the debates.
Yeah.
I'd watch the core, and sorry guys, I still call it Four Corners. Okay?
Four corners all the way.
It'll be Four Corners for me from day one. You know what I mean? That's what we used to call it.
Yeah.
But I know it would have been it would have shut down the movement of traffic for a while.
Yeah.
But if in the long run,
it would have been beneficial.
It would have been beneficial because people can just the traffic jump off real quick.
Yeah.
Grab a T by Daniel.
Yeah.
Big shouts out, T by Daniel.
Yeah. Shout outs. Another top 40 under 40.
Exactly. Get out, grab one, jump back in, keep going.
That's it.
There's opportunities there. Grab a sandwich. Everything is there.
Yeah.
But you have to look at time spent, money spent, and everything, right?
Especially when you look at her Ontario I hate driving. No offense, I hate driving on her Ontario. Especially at peak time, 3 to 5.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Bumper to bumper.
Yeah. And literally you're trying to get from Steeles to Main Street. It's taking you a half an hour.
Yeah.
And with the LRT, people, and that's the thing, people just don't like to think long term. They like to think in the now and what's the pain going to be. And one example, even if we're going to get on this topic, is the city of Ottawa is putting in LRT. I was in Ottawa last week for work. The city of Ottawa is putting in an LRT.
Okay.
And there's a lot of growing pains with it. Obviously, it's right in the core of downtown. A lot of construction. We think downtown Toronto is bad. There's times in the city of Ottawa you can't get any. Can't even move. Yeah, can't even move. But a lot of the citizens there are like, okay, you know what? But we need this. We need it. We need to make it happen. This is going to benefit, in the long run. Property values are going to go up.
Right.
People are going to go in and out of the city. It's better for businesses. And that's the thing. There's so much. And part of that, I find in regards to some of these disagreements is because, Brampton is such a diverse place, man.
Right.
You got pockets of areas. We were talking about it. We got, Turner Fenton was such a multicultural school. And then if you go out to downtown Brampton, it's, a bit of the older Brampton. You go up to Gore Road and where my parents live and where I live, Highway 7. That's Little India, right?
Yeah.
There's all these different pockets of areas that it's very hard to sort of get a common ideology. I find. So there's some work that needs to be done. But
we're gonna tap into that. We're gonna take a small break, and we're gonna be right back. And we're gonna tap into your business.
My business.
Why?
How did I get top 40 under 40?
Top 40 under 40, man.
I'm still trying to figure it out. But
we're gonna be right back. Stay tuned.
Sea of people, it's easy to get lost amongst all the stories we have to tell. With this platform, a new voice is being heard, one that offers real insight to transform, educate, and inspire greatness, always building, nurturing, and evolving with the times. Our goal is to make a statement, to transform the world, and engage all of its citizens. Accepting multiculturalism is taking the first step, and listening to each other, uniting towards positive change. It's not about any one race, religion, or culture, but about uplifting and empowering one another. Standing above segregation is our game. Our vision is to expand, to create and implement change, zeroing in on what matters the most, banding together to preserve and celebrate our heritage, cultures, and community spirit. Become inspired by real people, your friends and family, and see that impact within our society. Be proud of the work we have done together. Community-focused, we are the Toronto Caribbean newspaper.
All right, we could talk about Brampton.
Let's do it.
All day, but I want to talk
day.
about you. I want to know why. You know what I mean? Top 4 in the 40. You said, they were short one man. So they call it. No, I'm just joking. So tell us, what do you do?
You know what? I'm sort of a jack of all trades, man. And that sounds as cliche as possible, but man. So right now, my full background's in marketing.
Okay.
So I'm brand management. Now I'm in the sports partnership world. So I would say, for the most part, the reason why I got, or maybe I was a recipient of Top 40 Under 40 is number one, probably my diverse background and what I do.
Right.
I was working in brand management, working in marketing full time, and then at night I was in the TV stuff.
Okay.
And it was a bit of a grind, but I found a way to sort of juggle my passion with what pays the bills. And, and marketing is my passion as well. But I love just getting involved in the community. I love just kind of feeling the pulse and seeing where the next big idea is going to be, and finding ways to want to help out within that. And one thing I'll say, Rogers TV can be very busy, because from Rogers I was able to host events like Cara Bram on the Brampton stage.
Yeah, that's right.
Shouts to Cara Bram, July 14, 15, 16. I was like repeating it nonstop on Saturday. But again, so right now I'm currently working for the Canadian Football League. So I'm the manager of corporate partnerships. Been doing that now for almost 2 months. Before that, I was leading up the Snickers business here in Canada.
Okay.
So I got to do some cool stuff there. Like I did a deal with the Toronto Raptors. So I got to do a commercial with Corey Joseph, which was cool.
Okay.
And then on top of that, it's like 9 to 5 is marketing, sports partnerships. 5 to 9 or 5 to midnight, it's Rogers TV. Or it used to be Rogers TV, or it's like hosting events on the weekends.
Right.
I'm actually working with a couple of artists. Number one, providing them sort of platforms to perform. So I'm actually curating a show, part of Bollywood Monster Mashup called Bollywood Monster Does Brampton. So we got all Brampton acts, because we got Hawaii Mighty, we got Noise.
And where's this being held?
This is being held at the Rose Theater Studio.
Okay, so that's what we talked about, right?
Yeah, and we were talking about that earlier. The Rose Theater has so much potential.
Right.
I'm grateful they gave us that opportunity, because it's going to be a really good show.
And what date is that?
That's July 15th.
All right, so July 15th.
Yeah, we'll definitely get you some promo beforehand.
Okay.
Get some peeps showing up on the show.
That's right.
But you know what? I've always just, even growing up, man, I've just always had this need to get involved. Like I've always had this passion to connect with people. I tell people, I'm a connector. Like I just love being able to find synergies and put people together.
Match them together and put them together.
Exactly. And that's why I think I've now sort of with my new role with the Canadian Football League, sports partnerships. That's pretty much getting paid to do that now, which I love.
And now, how's that feel? Because we have I have a lot of friends in the Canadian Football League.
Oh, no way.
Back in the days, a lot of friends that are, old, they're retired now, they were hanging out. When we were growing up, they just got in. And, you know what I mean? We used to have season tickets going there all the time. And it's different.
It's so different.
You know what I mean? Like, how do you battle with trying to promote the Canadian league to everybody out there?
You know what? And that's the challenge. And the only area where that's the biggest challenge is Toronto. Toronto is such a saturated market, man. You think about it. Right now in the summertime, we got the Blue Jays, we got Toronto FC.
Right.
Just so happens both of those teams were on very hot playoff runs last year, so there's a lot of excitement around those properties.
Right.
When we get into the fall time, you got the Toronto Maple Leafs and you got the Toronto Raptors, two other teams that have just been very successful.
Yes.
Toronto Argos, they're in a bit of a rebuilding phase, but and that's the thing. Like we talk about people going to Toronto.
Right.
I'd say like the whole GTA or most of Ontario is living in this bubble, right? And being so close to Toronto, which is a major metropolitan city, we all get the benefits of just what's going on, right? Like you think about how big Caribana is, right? That's just such a big event, and we're so privileged to have it in the city of Toronto.
Right.
And we're such privileged, and the market's so saturated. We're obviously going to look at the Argos as being, hey, that's the CFL. It's not doing good. I was in Ottawa last week, and a venue that holds 25,000 people and they had a preseason game.
Yeah.
They brought out 23,000.
Okay.
For preseason.
Right.
And it was a heavy contrast to what happened in Toronto. So it's literally pockets of markets. And the Argos are doing their best right now. We've been working with them closely.
Yeah.
They're really focusing in on new behaviors. So like they've introduced tailgating as a way to sort of get people going.
Right.
But it's an exciting time, and obviously Canada's 150th.
Is it remember it's a new building,
Yeah,
new atmosphere.
exactly.
How's the new look?
It's good, man. It's a lot younger, I would
Okay.
say. BMO Field's a great field to be at, like just from an atmosphere standpoint.
Right. It's got
I
that.
think
It has more of that college feel.
It does.
It has that
It does.
college feel to it, right?
And you know what? That's where the league's going to be going.
Yeah.
Is they're going to be going to that more younger demographic to give it that more college feel, because a lot of the players that we have at the league, they're all they live in our communities.
Yes.
And
yes.
they make a humble living, and they're
Right.
the kinds of guys that you can rely on to really help you out
Yes.
and bring them out to charity events, and it's definitely an
and
exciting
that's
time.
and then let me say this though. I think people forget that
They do.
that CFL players in general, they're your players.
They are.
They're your
They
players,
are.
right?
Yeah.
So when you're looking for, someone to come to your school
Yeah.
or talk to the kids or something like that, you forget. Pick up a phone. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Call the league and say, "Can we have one of your players come on down? 'Cause
Exactly.
We're doing this, and this." It's not like they're flying from different areas.
They're not.
For all you know, there's somebody that works down the street from your school. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
And that's the thing, and that's what really makes the league exciting. And there's a lot of exciting things going on, but and again, for me, my passion has always been around big ideas, creative strategy.
Okay.
And now I get to do that in the sports field,
Right.
which excites me. And now I also get to do that in the arts field too. Like I mentioned, the show that I'm doing. There's a couple artists that I'm working with. So shout outs to Noise. He just released a new video. He's one of my artists that I'm really kind of working with from a business standpoint.
is it Noise?
Yeah, NOYZ.
Okay.
Yeah,
And what type of music is he doing?
He's hip hop.
He's hip hop.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's of South Asian descent, but
Yeah.
he's heavily influenced by like classic hip hop. I would say based in New York, so
Okay.
Wu-Tang, Nas, very lyrical, very very conscious as well.
Okay.
He's not scared to talk about his upbringing and just some of the challenges that he's seen. Growing up with immigrant parents in a new country, right? And that's the one thing I really really enjoy about him is he's now been able to take his writing and run hip hop workshops in school.
Oh, that's great.
And my role in all that is to provide some guidance, use my business background to sort of coach them and
Right.
provide the team just some ways to sort of better monetize and better gain opportunities.
Right.
And we just put out a new music video as well. I'll flip it to you so you can check it out.
Okay.
I actually have a bit of a cameo in it as well. We filmed it actually in downtown Brampton.
Okay.
Yeah, Lab B, which is a great co-working spot. Shouts to
Yeah.
Lab B. And in and around downtown Brampton, like Beau Arts, we filmed it around that corridor as well. So again, to kind of bring this all back, I think one of the reasons why maybe I did get this honor was just my ability to connect with people, my ability to want to get involved and make some change and be a change maker in the city.
Yes.
And right now is the best time to do it.
And then I love your passion about Brampton.
Yeah.
I think the main thing is it's kind of novice or weird to have top 40 under 40 for Brampton and not have the ambassador, one of the youngest ambassadors of Brampton on the show, right? Because every time we talk, it's it's Brampton first,
It is. It's
and then
totally
you
Brampton
talk
first.
about your interviews with politicians and this and that. Let's talk about, before we move on to something else.
Oh, whatever.
Do you know who nominated you? Did you find that out?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
It was my producer, Wasim from Rogers TV.
Well, big shouts out to Nazim.
Yeah, shouts to Wasim, man. He a guy I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
And even we had a dinner actually last night, and I couldn't thank him enough. He gave me an opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Like and that's the one thing. For me, being a connector, being someone that really believes in networking, I just believe in first impressions. And I think because him and I had just hit it off really well and we made a good first impression on each other.
That's a big thing.
It's
that's
so
a big
big.
thing.
It's so
that's
big.
a big thing.
And that's the one thing. Whenever I do a talk around networking or sometimes I facilitate networking sessions. I tell people, I'm like, man, perception's everything. So you gotta show up like you gotta show up to a networking event like it's your playoff game,
right?
And you gotta be determined and not step on anyone's toes, but you gotta show up knowing that, hey, that person that you might be meeting might have that next big opportunity.
That's your key. And I talk about young people all the time on my show, because like sometimes I want to go back to my old school, and I talk to the kids at my old school and stuff about two things: that opportunity.
Yeah.
You only got the first 30 seconds.
100%.
You know what I mean? The first 30 seconds can change your whole life.
Yeah.
And then once you get that opportunity, don't lose it.
Don't lose it.
To me, it goes opportunity, link, mentor.
That's it.
If that person's willing to put you, I'm talking about not even under the wing.
Yeah.
If they're giving you a leaf, a feather, jump on it.
100%.
Because you never know what's going to happen after that. So it's great. So going back to Brampton,
yes,
and you said, okay, he gave you the opportunity. This is why you get top 40 and 40. How's Brampton changed for you?
How's Brampton changed? You know what? Again, I grew up here, man.
Right.
I moved to Brampton when I was 5, 6 years old from like the Jane and Weston area because my parents had bought a house here.
Okay.
And
so hold on, let me show them how far back do you go. Okay, hold on. Were you in Brampton? When Queen and Kennedy had, what restaurant was on the corner when you came?
Queen and Kennedy.
Yeah.
It wasn't Giggling Tomatoes, was it?
No. Like, how far back do you go?
Wait, I'm talking about, well, I grew up in the Ray Lawson McLaughlin area.
Okay.
I didn't hit up Queen and Kennedy until I went to Turner Benton.
I see. Okay, so that's how far back we're going there.
So Ray Lawson McLaughlin, like, man, I remember the pick and save there. I remember, like, I go down to Ray Lawson McLaughlin right now, and I'm like, man, things have changed.
It doesn't look the same.
It does not look the same. Like, there was a lot more greenery, and at the time, like, I remember, I forgot who the builder was, but...
Do you remember Bargain Harold's in Brampton?
Hell yeah.
Okay, you're old like me then. Okay.
Bargain Harold. That was one of my mom's favorite stores. And then, like, it disappeared, and now the Shoppers Drug Mart's there.
Yeah, it used to be Bargain Harold's, Byway.
I remember Kmart at Shoppers World. Shoppers World,
yes. Okay, and I was asking, Queen Kennedy used to be Fire Pit.
Oh, really?
The restaurant in the corner.
Okay,
yeah. So I was like, let me show them how far back you're a Bramptonian.
There's still a Fire Pit in Mississauga, though.
There is.
I think on her Ontario.
There is. Yes. There is. It's right there.
It's still known for its burgers, but
not Giggling Tomatoes. Where
Exalta is now.
Yes.
Yeah. The new spot. I was gonna say I still remember Jumbo Video, man. Jumbo Video at Shoppers World.
Free popcorn. Get your popcorn. Yeah.
Literally, me and my dad would always like Friday nights, like sometimes like if it's like after like 7 o'clock, we would go get the free popcorn, try to rent some movies. Yep. Right? Sometimes we just get the free popcorn because nothing good was out or the poppin' movies are gone. Right.
That was family day, man.
That was a moment. Even the Byway across the street, I remember that too.
Yeah, and then there was Blockbuster.
Blockbuster as well.
Okay.
Man, and that's the thing. Like you drive down Main Street. Things have changed.
Yeah, it has.
Things have changed for the best, man.
It has.
It's good to see that that sort of evolving. And I go on in Brampton and Brampton is sometimes, and I see some of their posts about like if you grew up in Brampton
when,
and it just amazes me. I'm like, man, I still remember like these moments.
Right? Yeah, it does. It does. Crazy. Listen, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna come back and talk a little bit more about what this award has done for you, what it will do for you, and how I feel you can help other people receive this award.
Sure, man. 100%.
All right? You're watching CMJ Live. We'll be right back.
Leaders begin with a vision to start a movement, to make a real impact in society, communicating their message and aligning themselves with like-minded people to equip and inspire others to attain their vision. Creating a vital, healthy community is a group effort, and at the heart of it, you'll find local businesses and organizations fueled by committed people who are passionate about building a better tomorrow for us all. The Toronto Caribbean newspaper has started their own movement, promising to focus on the needs of the community, seeking out relationships with businesses and corporations that share in that same mission. We are legacy builders with one shot to make a difference, and together we can empower the community by adding value, instilling self-worth, and showcasing the cultural identity of our beautiful and ethnically diverse community. As business leaders, we have a corporate responsibility to set the tone of our community with principles led by performance-focused results. By combining our reach, we can provide a platform to establish and share our contributions with the world. We are all people working for companies that are interested in building a better community, helping people stand tall and be proud of their culture. If anybody has ever done it, then you can too. We are all capable, and working together, combining our skills and resources, we can make a change and leave behind an unforgettable legacy.
Hey guys, sorry, we can sit here and talk about Brampton like for hours. We're Bramptonians,
Love
okay?
Brampton.
It was so bad. I went to Agnes Taylor, Sir John A. McDonald's, then I went to Central Peel, then I went to Sheridan.
Oh, wow.
Then I went to York University, you know what I mean? So it was like...
But you're commuting from Brampton, New York?
Yeah.
Taking that Zoom line?
Yeah, just going all over, you know what I mean? And I remember the whole changes,
wow,
and I remember...
Man.
And it's funny to me, now that I look back at a lot of colleagues and friends, we were Bramptonians, but like we said, they're doing big things out there right now.
Man. They truly are,
Like, I went to school with Cassie Campbell, you know
really,
what I mean?
Eh?
She would cross over.
Wow.
Okay, basketball, don't let her play hockey. She's into hockey, but don't put a basketball in her hand. You know what I mean?
Man, Cassie Campbell's big.
Yeah, it was, it was proud to have you see, when doing big things and everybody's doing big things. So
even like Tristan Thompson, right?
I was just about to mention Tristan, and the funny thing is, I love when they say Toronto.
I know.
You ever hear the commentators?
I know.
Toronto's own Tristan. Don't say Toronto.
I know.
Say it like it is.
Say Brampton.
Brampton's own.
and that's the thing. Like people get scared when they say Brampton. It's like, oh, they don't know what Brampton is.
No.
And that's the one thing that really bothers me now. I love Drake. I think Drake's amazing, great talent. I love that he's put Toronto on the map.
Yes.
I think now, and I remember I was watching an interview with Alicia Cara, and what really made me proud was she was getting interviewed like on a U.S. station, and they're like, "Oh, where are you from?" We were from Toronto, and she's like, "Yeah, but I'm from this area called Brampton." And she actually mentioned it.
Yeah. And
she almost like indirectly corrected them, and I'm like, "Yeah, like that's
what you got to do.
That's what you got to do."
Tell them straight.
Yeah, tell them straight, because if nowadays, like it's with the world that we live in and everything being so global.
Yeah.
People will figure it out.
They'll Google it. They'll find it.
They'll find it. If you say Brampton, like, oh, what's Brampton? They'll Google it. Like, yeah.
Population, the thing, and it's diverse.
It is.
That's what I mean. Diverse. Like, if you want any type of food,
oh man,
you come to Brampton.
As soon as I walked in, offering up doubles, and I got excited.
All right, so here it is.
Let's do it.
I always ask this question to everybody that came in so far.
Sure, man.
Business, how did you get started? So I'm not talking about the radio show.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about how did you decide to say, you know something?
I need to get into business.
I need to get into business.
You know what? Turner Fenton, man, started there. Turner Fenton, I'm not sure if all the high schools have it, but at the time, Turner was one of the schools that offered up a lot of business courses.
Oh, okay.
And I remember grade 10 taking my first intro to business class, and when you're in high school, even when you're in university, you don't really know what you want to do.
Right.
I remember myself just really enjoying that aspect of it. And it probably starts with my parents. Like, my dad's been an insurance broker for, like, the longest time.
Okay.
So I've seen, like, when I was growing up, I'm like, oh, he's a businessman. Like, I had no idea what he did until, like, later. But it's always, I guess, been a part of me. I come from a family of entrepreneurs. Like, between my undergrad and my MBA, I took a year off and helped out my aunt's real estate business get off the ground up in Scarborough. Okay. So I've always sort of been around that drive, and it was just a logical move for me, because I look at the area of business and the possibilities are endless. Mm-hmm. Like, for me, going into my undergrad, I was thinking, okay, if I get a business degree, it's a pretty easy degree to fall back on in case something happens.
Right.
Because, there's always a need for it. And, I loved the fact that marketing enables you to get creative. I love the fact that you can get into advertising if you really want to, stand out and get products out there. Having financial acumen is very important. If you're an entrepreneur or if you're someone that works for a big corporation, you gotta know how to read numbers, right? And all these skills that are beneficial to life are just all encompassed within the stream of business.
Right.
So it was just something I found an interest in, and I'd probably attribute it to most of it being because I've always been around it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then the question I ask everybody is, if you can tell 3 young teens listening right now about business, okay, what would you tell them?
Oh, wow.
Because the thing is, the last couple interviews I did with Top 40 Under 40, they're doing fantastic work.
Yeah.
But to me, a lot of teens think that you just get out of bed, start a business,
and that's it.
You'll do it.
Yeah.
They don't know there's a hard work.
Yeah.
There's pros and cons.
Yeah.
And there's some lost money.
100%. And I've seen it. I've seen it by interviewing people on my business show. I've seen it by just networking with people.
Yeah.
I must, especially now in my new role, like I get emails from entrepreneurs, and I love that.
Right.
But I'll get emails from entrepreneurs, and I'll ask them how many products have you sold, and they'll just say a couple here and there, and I'm like, how are you letting that happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess to your point, the 3 major things I tell teens that if you're interested in business, do your research,
right? Know
the industry you want to get into. And do as much research, become an expert,
right?
Like, know everything about it.
Like the back of your hand.
And Daniel and I, T by Daniel,
right.
We went to middle school together.
Oh, okay.
And it's amazing for me to see what he's been able to do. Like he just wrote a book.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
Right.
And he's always sort of had that passion in him to just really connect with people and do a lot of great things.
Right.
And I'm glad he's been able to channel that. But for him, he's an expert in tea. Like he knows everything about tea.
Yeah.
And for him, because he was such an expert in tea, that's translated into his business. Now you go into Tea by Daniel and you're not a tea connoisseur, you'll at least trust his opinion, assuming, okay, he's giving me the right stuff to drink.
He'll tell you about the tea, how the tea is and whatever.
Exactly.
Right?
So doing your research is key. I would say, you mentioned it earlier, you got to find a mentor. Find a mentor to learn from. Reason why I sort of been able to get to the position that I'm in now is because I've had good mentors around me. And I'm not saying just one person. Like I have, my mentors who help me in media. I had a mentor that helps me in marketing. I have a mentor that is in a totally different industry as me, but I go to them to just bounce ideas off of them. I got a mentor that's just giving me life advice. Like there's a handful of individuals that I sort of go to. And someone once told me when I was going to do some informational interviews when I was finishing up school, was like, have a group of mentors and almost treat them like your board of directors, like in a way
I've never heard it that way before.
Yeah, it was it stuck with me because it's like you don't obviously got to get them in a room at once,
right? But
always have like a set 3 to 4 people, right? That you really value their opinion, you value their experience.
Drop it against and see what the
and
verdicts
let them know.
are.
When I took on this new role with the CFL, I met with a lot of people. Because I want to make sure, like I like this job, but I need to get other people's opinions just to, either not validate my choice, right, but just to kind of gauge, okay, what do you think? Like, you know me the best. Do you think I could fit well?
Right.
And same goes with TV as well. Like when it came to starting the business show, I really relied on people in the industry and people that I knew in my network of like, hey, do you think I can pull this off? Do you think we can do it? So research, mentor, and last but not least, if you can, what's the last one? I would say, education's important. Right. Like, it doesn't matter where you get it. Just being educated, it's a good fallback plan. Right. And I would tell someone that if you want to learn, you want to meet people, a good education will definitely get you there. I got my undergrad, I got my MBA. I'm not necessarily saying that my MBA, my undergrad got me to where I am today. Right. But then again, I was able to learn a lot just going through that system. And it costed me a lot of money, admittedly. Right. But, you can get the same value out of Sheridan College. You can get the same value taking, part-time classes somewhere. Ryerson's offering up a great continuing education program. I think almost having that desire to learn, maybe not education, but that desire to learn and continue learning is very important.
Well, see, my big thing is something just you touched on. Once you get into one field, you learn, and it kind of breaks you off into other facets.
100%.
So the learning key is, okay, you're not learning but once you get that mentor and he brings you in, you can be learning so much within aspect, and then you
Exactly.
say, oh, I think I can branch out. I
Yeah.
can do what I need to do,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's not just taking the opportunity and sitting there. I mean, like, bring your notepad, bring your paper,
Study it.
and study it. What he's
Yeah.
teaching you, what
Yeah.
he's telling you, it's a big part.
And sometimes it's good to have a mentor to kind of keep you in check, right?
Yeah.
Like, one thing, I got a mentor that will tell me like it is. And sometimes
Right.
and sometimes I walk out of those meetings and scratching my head like, do I really want to feel bad today? But in hindsight, it's not about feeling bad. It's about like you need that reality check, right?
Yes.
The one thing I'll say is, getting nominated or receiving an award like top 40 under 40. It's very
Right.
easy to be this high. And
Yeah.
be like, I made it.
Yeah.
But then it's also the next day for me. It's very easy to also get back low because something you may be working towards, you may
Right.
not have gotten it.
Right.
And I think it's all about just kind of keeping pace and having those reality checks and always being humble. I can't stress my whole thing, and I probably get this from my parents. It's just being humble, man.
Okay.
Humbleness can take you so far. It's so easy to get caught up in the hype. It's so easy to kind of let these opportunities get to your head. But the ones that when those opportunities stop coming, the ones that suffer the most are the ones that were never humble about it.
Right.
That were thinking, hey,
Right.
they're God's gift to the
Right,
world.
right. I've made it, and you haven't made it yet.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you think you've made it already,
Yeah.
then that person won't give you the opportunity. They're like, well, you don't need me.
That's it. That's
you're,
it.
You're here already. You don't need me. You made it, right?
And that's why, like, when someone has an opportunity for me, I always give them the time of day.
Yes.
Because you never know what it is.
You never know what break it is, what he's offering,
Exactly.
what it is. Yeah.
Like, I was facilitating a networking event a couple weeks ago for the city at Beau Arts, and like I met individuals that were like are very passionate about breakdancing, and then they want to get into it, and I was like, yeah, this is cool, like let me hear you out.
Yeah.
I met individuals that started a new newspaper.
Okay.
I was like, let me hear it out, let's
Right.
see what you're doing. Like, you got to keep an open mind,
Right.
because you just never know, number one, what that person's actually working on, but you also never know if there's a potential synergy for you or
Right.
someone within your network that
Exactly.
you can connect to make it even bigger.
Right, right.
So that's how I'm built, and a lot of that probably I would say is because of the fact that my dad was an insurance broker and he was in sales. I think he sort of innately sort of built that into us as well.
To
But
learn a little bit more and
yeah,
then
yeah,
branch it out.
exactly.
Right?
There's always a lot to learn.
Right.
Yeah.
So quickly, CFL,
Yeah.
what's next?
What's next? Oh, I don't know, man. A lot. CFL is doing good. I'm not sure if I'm the right person to comment on it, but
No, but for you, anyways. Like I know you're you're doing a lot of work for them.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
So like any special events coming up that
we obviously go support the Argos, go support the local team.
Right.
It's an exciting time. Canada's 150th. I think everyone sort of has that sense of Canadian pride in them.
Right.
And what better way to celebrate that than supporting local teams, right? And that's just not with the CFL. Like the Blue Jays are doing amazing things this year. The FC are doing amazing things. Go on support the minor league teams. Like go on support the Brampton Beast, man.
Yeah, that's
like
it's funny that you're looking for great hockey.
Yeah,
and
you're getting it.
You're getting it right here.
Yeah,
because people don't understand. It's like a farm team.
It is.
Okay, so at any moment,
one of these guys can get shot up to
you
the
can
main roster, and there
you
you
can
go.
get the autograph now, which is gonna be worth millions later. And you're not fighting through people. It's like it's right there.
And that's the thing. Like they were just on a hot playoff run, and for me, like I would look at some of the footage and I'd be like, man, I'm so happy that they're actually creating a buzz in the city. But then ultimately, I think that buzz needs to correlate to ticket sales. And I think if you're getting quality hockey, like you mentioned, and they're doing amazing programming on the weekends, go out and support. It's not, you're not dropping like Toronto prices on tickets, right?
Yeah.
So go out and support, have a good time. The Powerade Center is like amazing.
Yeah.
I in no way work for the Brampton Beast, but I feel like I'm endorsing them. But for me,
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I used to be here when the Brampton A's was here.
Oh yeah.
So I was the voice for the Brampton A's.
Really,
I used to market the Brampton
the
A's.
basketball team.
Yeah. So I totally get it. I totally get it. So I'm gonna lead into commercial.
Yeah.
But when I get back, I'm gonna steal your brain.
Oh wow.
And we're gonna talk about
You want to have it right now?
the marketing aspect.
Yeah.
On how we can market Brampton.
Let's do it, man.
All right.
You need more than just an hour for that.
We're gonna come back and we're gonna tell you how we're gonna put Brampton. We are gonna put Brampton on the map. Stay tuned. We'll be right
When
back.
we are born, the world is a foreign place. We have not yet mastered the use of our five senses, and our eyes cannot decipher the complexities of judgments we do not know. As children, our innocence allows us to see a world of endless possibilities. We thrive in the world of imagination, creating a place where everyone writes a unique story, and there is zero judgment since everyone is the same, yet unique in their own way. Over the years, humanity has altered our ways of thinking, creating stigma, judgment, and prejudice based on the history of our ancestors. We have trained ourselves to believe that our history puts us at a disadvantage in society. Our unique and exotic classifications are a testament to the diversity of the world. History doesn't have a future. It's set in stone. The possibility for change lies in our responsibility to know our self-worth, learning from the history, embracing and honoring our heritage, while educating, inspiring, and empowering others to see past what's in front of them to the power inside. It's not about what you look like. It's about realizing the potential of humanity and recognizing the greatness in everyone. It's time to invest in solutions, change the conversation, and think differently about our future. Life isn't a competition of who can do better than the other. It's about eradicating prejudice, boosting self-esteem, discovering our identity, and carving out our own legacy while aspiring to achieve greatness.
All right, we're back, and we got a few minutes, but we're going to kill this segment right
kill
here.
Kill it.
We're going to introduce yourself one more time.
Nav Nanwa here, top 40 under 40 recipient for the city of Brampton, former TV host, now just a former TV host.
And a brainchild at marketing.
Yeah.
Right,
An
so
all-around good marketer right
there
here.
we go. So we're a lover of Brampton, so we are going to kill it right now because everybody watches this show. So I know we got some
Exactly.
politicians watching.
Oh,
we
yeah?
got some people watching.
Oh,
So
wow.
we're gonna
edit some of this stuff.
No, they always say, "Oh, you got a show," but they sneak and they watch, and you know how they do it.
Yeah,
so we're
yeah.
gonna help them out right now.
Okay.
And we're gonna help them out on marketing Brampton.
Marketing Brampton.
Right?
Okay.
You do marketing, I do
Yeah.
marketing for events, and we have the same ideas.
Yeah, same synergies.
So, number one, what do we have to do to market Brampton?
I would say it needs to be authentic. And the reason why I say that is I think there's so much, and this is why I have conversations with my wife about this all the time.
Okay.
About the city is there's so much about, hey, we need to be like this, we need to be like that.
We don't have an identity.
We don't have an identity, and I
Yeah.
think that's important. If there's a marketing campaign, create that identity. And I think it needs to be original, man. If Brampton is the burbs, let's own it.
Yes.
But let's show them that you can have fun in the burbs, right?
Exactly, okay.
Like if Brampton, if the plan is to, deck out downtown Brampton and make it like the next Port Credit.
Yeah.
Or the next, Stouffville and Markham.
Okay.
Like, let's own the heritage. Let's own the history behind it.
Back in the days we were called Flower Town.
Flower Town.
Okay, so
yeah, Flower City.
That was our thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That was we ran it, but then it's now it's trying to change. It's changing its atmosphere.
It's house town now.
Yeah.
But to my point is, and I tell people, don't focus on being Toronto. Don't focus on being Mississauga. Focus on being Brampton.
Right.
Because now you look at cities like Hamilton, Waterloo.
Yes.
They're not focused in on being like Toronto. They realize
focus on themselves.
They're focused on themselves and they're prospering.
Right.
So I think for the city of Brampton, what's exciting is we're at this stage now where I think the identity is trying to figure itself out. So first and foremost, to your point, number one, you wrote be us.
Right.
That should be the number one marketing campaign is, hey, we're Brampton.
Right.
We're the burbs, but we're filled with opportunity.
Right.
We're filled with fun, and we're filled with stuff that you can invest in.
Right.
Yeah.
Number two, what would you say we need to do for marketing?
You know what? I would say, one of the things that nowadays in marketing, influencers are everything. Influencers are big. Social media influencers, YouTube influencers.
Right.
I would literally, if I'm in the city of Brampton's marketing team, and maybe I'm giving away too much free advice, but whatever. I would
we're taking this out so you guys know.
Yeah.
We know what we're talking about. We're telling you that now, okay?
To all the city officials watching.
Yeah, that's right.
I would find key influencers.
Right, because I tell, just to go on your point, it's to need to know.
They need to know.
Okay.
They need
So when
to know.
you have social media that's it's so hot, and you have some influencers that can say, "I love this restaurant in Brampton.
Exactly.
I go to this park in Brampton. My key points to go watch a show is
In Brampton.
Rose Theater
Yeah.
in Brampton.
Exactly.
It has some weight to it.
Exactly.
And then the thing about it is, we always have now and then key people come to Brampton, but when they come to Brampton, do we put an onus on them to say, okay, while you're here, have your team get those pictures out, get this
100%.
out, get this out. Like,
and that's the thing. Like, I think coverage is
It's
just
the
so
coverage.
important.
Yeah,
Like,
when-
and we have so many mediums now.
Yeah.
Right. Like this Carib 101's a medium.
Yep.
We have in Brampton's a medium. Brampton's is a medium. Brampton Guardian is still a medium.
Yep. We
We
have Snap that's there.
Yeah, Snap Brampton.
Yep.
The Peel Daily News was one I met last week.
Right,
They're
right.
a medium.
Yep. I think they're new, right?
They're new, yeah,
They're
they're
new.
newer.
I met gentleman as well.
Yeah, and the one thing I'll say, Charles, is like, man, like these, like we need more, instead of covering what's happening, you need to cover what happened.
Yes.
Because-
send it out there. Get it out
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Like because nowadays, it's about it's FOMO. It's fear of missing out.
Right.
Everyone has this fear of missing out.
yeah.
For example, we mentioned Cardinal Fischel is coming to Garden Square
Okay.
on September 1st for Ontario 150.
Okay.
And honestly, it's going to probably be a big show. I think more marketing or more promotion should go into afterwards and how it turned out.
Oh, the big event.
Yeah.
You should have been here. Get it down
New
here.
Year's Eve in Brampton's always big.
Yeah.
You cover that. You get a team to film it. You
Yeah.
get, you mentioned that you wanted to come on Wednesday to the Top 40 Under 40 and
Yeah.
do some interviews. That's amazing because if I'm someone who wants to be Top 40 Under 40, or I'm someone that doesn't know about Top 40 Under 40, and I see
That's
one
why.
of your interviews,
Right.
I'm gonna be like, man, how did I miss it?
That's the whole key about what you're saying. Like, I want people to know that yes, apply. We got this,
Exactly,
we got that. You
exactly.
got brilliant people here, not knowing that this is around what we have. So that is key.
There's so much opportunity in this city that I still feel like it hasn't fully
hasn't
been uncovered.
exploded
Yeah,
yet.
and I tell a lot of people, I was like, look, the goal is you obviously want a big turnout at your events. You want to get people excited, but you can still do that after it takes place.
Yes.
Because you're ultimately building for what's going to happen the year
Next
later.
year.
Yeah.
If it's something you want to do for longevity,
Yeah.
do the first one.
Exactly.
Get it in, get it out, and extend it, blow it up for next year.
Like, we'll use Brampton as an example.
Yeah.
You and I were both there, and I haven't seen anything regarding how that event did. Like,
No.
how many people came out?
No.
But you and I were there.
Yeah.
And it was packed.
They
They closed the four corners.
I have to admit, I was walking down the street, and I'll say it live because I tell you, I'm real.
Yeah,
real.
you're so real.
Props to the people that put it on.
Yeah, exactly.
Props to
the
everybody
city, man.
that entertained, all the vendors that came out, because it felt like an event that I do in Toronto.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, finally. It's the same style, same look. There's some things I would have changed,
Yeah.
but same things I would say, we finally got it.
100%. And it was such an awesome event because it promoted the downtown.
Yeah.
I think all the businesses around weren't complaining because they were getting business.
Business was coming in.
We had the Carabram stage rocking. There was
Yeah.
the main stage rocking. People were just genuinely happy. Beautiful day outside.
Yep.
Like now, if I'm in the marketing department, I'd be like, hey, let's put photos out there.
Get it out there.
Video, do
This
a
week-
recap video,
yeah.
talk about Celebrate Brampton. Let's
Yeah.
big up, because that's the way you're gonna start capturing people. That's the way people are gonna sort of change that narrative around. Oh, there's nothing to do in Brampton. Oh, Brampton's a sleeper city.
Let them see it.
Let them see it. And there's so many mediums that you can flush it through.
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay, listen, we're not going to talk about it anymore.
If
you
I
wanna-
can go on about this forever.
If you want to get a hold of us, all right, we'll do the marketing for Brampton. You can get a hold of us.
Yeah, me and CMJ are gonna start our own consulting company.
There you go. Now listen, you're on CMJ Live, and what we do here is called a shout out.
Shout out.
So shout out anybody you want to thank, anybody that you want that's influencing you. This is your limelight to
Oh man, I
tell them
appreciate it.
live right there.
Well, I want to give a shout out to you for the
Oh,
opportunity.
thank you.
First and foremost, this is great, man. We need more of this in the city. I'm so passionate. We need more media. We need people to cover what's going on. Shout outs to my family. Shout outs to my wife, who's I'm probably gonna force her to watch this later. shout outs to the other 39 people that I'm nominated with or I'm receiving this recognition with. It's such an honor, man. Like I look at that list up and down. And I'm so humbled to be a part of it. Like a part of me feels like I don't deserve it, but shout outs to everyone there. Shout outs to the Brampton Board of Trade. Shout outs to Todd. Shout outs to Geraldine for putting this together for Shake It Up event. She's also one of the top 40 under 40. Shout outs to everyone watching, man. This is good. I appreciate the time. Shout outs to Brampton. Shout outs to Turner Fenton.
I knew he was gonna put it in there. I was waiting for it. I was like, he's gonna put it in there.
Turner Fenton, Maryland Central Peel. But actually, no. One of my favorite teachers, I think he's still there from Turner Fenton.
Yeah.
Is now the principal of Central Peel.
Lawrence
Demare, is he still there?
I think he's still there. Yeah.
Lawrence Demare is watching. Shouts to you, man. It's been a while. Let's connect. But he was one of my favorite teachers at high school and at Turner, and he went over. Actually, he taught me in his last year, and then he went over and became a principal. So.
See, he has to be a smart teacher because he went to Central Peel. On that note, we're gonna leave the show.
That's the last line. Come on. Man.
Thank you so much for coming, my friend. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Be safe.
Thank you.